He's the Kentucky head coach, John Calipari, joining us there. How's that? What did you
So
want a
my
little bit more?
team's not here. Now I drive the bus.
Yes, you. How bitter are you that you're not here? How long did it take to get over that Indiana loss?
Not yet.
Really?
I mean, my thing is not. I've done this a bunch. It's not. I have to be me personally. I had two great guards that should have still been playing.
Yeah.
That the country would have gone nuts over. I really believe Jamal Murray would have moved into the conversation for the number one pick. But when you're not playing, he'd have had a 30-point night, 40-point night, and everybody would have said, Steph Curry, oh my gosh, it's another Devin Booker who people passed on like craziness. So, and then Tyler Ulis.
I love Ulis.
Right, at 5'9", they deserve to still be playing, and we just picked. First of all, Indiana had a great game. Tom Crean coached a great game, was, my opinion, coach of the year nationally. And we pooped the bed. I mean, we just didn't play real well.
Is that
and
an
they
official
played well. They
coaching
made
term?
What's that?
That's an official coaching term?
Have I ever talked to you about the poop in the ice cream? Because your coach gave that to you. Did they? I call a guy in like you to my office.
Yeah.
And I said, son, there's a bucket of ice cream and there's a bucket of poop.
Okay.
You can put all the ice cream you want in that poop, and it doesn't change. It's poop.
Yeah.
But you put one pinch of that poop in that ice cream, you ruin that ice cream. Son, you're the poop in our ice cream. You are the poop in our ice cream.
That hurt. I mean, that hurt. But I would run through a wall for you.
Yeah, right.
I would. I would hustle for you. But I would want to play for Coach K. Oh. What?
Why would they think that hurts me?
No, he doesn't want me to play for him.
Why would you think that would hurt me? He's a great coach.
Yeah, you don't want me to play for you.
No, you could never play for me.
I know, I realize that. But do you really think that Jamal is he better than Ben Simmons?
Well, again, you're talking about a 6'5" guard that physically is able to do right now, could walk in and physically play. The thing that the league is on right now is stretching the court and making shots. Steph Curry, the biggest thing Steph improved was his handle. He could always shoot.
Yeah.
Now he creates space. He's unbelievable with the ball. And so I'm looking at my guy saying he's 6'5", can dunk it however you want him to dunk it, can make shots, can create. He's playing much better mid-range, drawing fouls. And he's 19, just turned 19 maybe 3 weeks ago. So now all of a sudden you're looking at a young kid and saying, where is this game going? And what do we need? And what, I'll come back to Devin Booker. People now are, why didn't you tell me about Devin? I told everybody about Devin Booker. I mean, Devin Booker, the two guys that went before him are having pretty good seasons too.
Yeah.
Trey Lyles is having a good season, by the way.
Well, you get great players.
And then I coach him down.
Yes. Look what happened. You're sitting here with me. But is he going to have a better career than Simmons?
You're asking me about one of my players like
I know,
a son.
but you can be honest, though. You can be honest.
Not when I'm talking about my sons. No. I'm going to be honest. I think he is going to have one of those careers that people look at and they say, wow, I knew he was going to be good. I didn't realize that good. Because he's done that with us.
Yeah.
And he's just beginning to learn this stuff. Every day has a smile on his face. Every day walks in. It's like a Tyler Ulis. How can you pass in the draft on a Tyler Ulis? And I'm going to tell you why. You have in Boston right now a 5'9" guard that is an all-star.
Isaiah Thomas. Yeah.
Are they posting Isaiah? I mean, tell me why. Well, defensively, Tyler. He was Defensive Player of the Year in our league. He's disruptive defensively. He makes shots. He can play. At the very least, I think he'll be a starter in that league, and it may take him a little time, but at the very least, he's your second unit guy. You're going to win 55, 60 games. It's a no-brainer.
You know what could happen to him is he could end up with a good team as the backup, your second unit guard.
And you win 60, 65
and
games.
he's going to be great.
Or you go and say, hey, wait a minute, let's see where we can go with this.
Yeah.
And people, he's 5'9". People that are 5'8" want to go watch him. Like, he's just a little bigger than me.
we had Jim Boeheim on, Roy Williams on, and they were talking about you coach as long as you can. And I still bring up this quote by Brent Musburger. He was talking about Joe Paterno. He says if he stops coaching, he'll die. Like there's just his mentality is this is what you do, and then when you're not coaching, what do you do? And he said that about Joe Paterno. Do you have that mentality of just I'm going to coach forever?
No. The minute they find me in the fetal position under the desk, I'll probably stop. I'm in Kentucky. You can't just say, I'm going to do this 25 years at Kentucky. My thing there's two things. When I'm done doing this, I don't want to be that guy. The old, bitter, mad, looking at people. I'm not being that guy. I want to go. Right now, I try to have fun with what I do. I try to go to baseball games, football games. I show up at stuff. I want to have fun. This is a time of my life. Why shouldn't I have fun?
But how do you know when enough's enough?
Well, you'll know, I'll know, and you'll say.
But the pressure, are you talking about you can't do it at Kentucky for 20 years? Is it the pressure?
It's just
expectation?
It's the grind of this. It's the grind. The every day, the 24/7, the getting off the treadmill, you're just the grind of it.
Well, you go Sweet 16, that's a bad year.
No.
To people.
No. I mean, my wife and I were walking yesterday or 2 days ago, and a guy was working and doing something, and we're in Florida, and he looks and says, Coach Cal. Rough year, Coach, rough year. Said, but we love you. And my wife and I are walking away like we just won our league, won our league tournament, lost 7 guys to the NBA. We're the most efficient team in college basketball. The team had gone like this. We had a ball, all of us, the coaches and the players, and it was a rough year. I hate to see a bad year, or what would a good year look like?
But those are the expectations, though, that you've set.
You want those.
But it might wear you thin and might make you not want to coach as long because of that.
It's not there's going to be a time. I don't need to do this until I'm done walking. Like I got to that won't be what I do. I've said it all along. I've never felt that way. I love what I'm doing. Kentucky, I'm able to put kids on the best stage, the biggest stage to help them and their families. I'm loving that. Do I want to win every game I coach? Come on, you know me. You've known me for 25 years. I haven't changed. Do I want to win every national title? Do I want my team in the Final Four every year? Absolutely. But I'm able to put they told the story about Buddy Hill where his mother and she was crying. I said, I've had 20 of those where generational poverty or a family and a mother and a grandmother and it's mother and father sometimes. But you're able to put them on this stage, help them get where they're going. I had dinner with Terrence Jones last night. I met Derrick Rose back in the hallway. Those guys hugging and thinking of where they were when I walked in that home and where they are now. What's a better feeling than, winning the national title? I hate to tell you, your legacy is going to be left by who you've touched, who you've moved from one place to another, who you've helped. It's not just trying to win every game, even though I do try to win every game.
Jim Boeheim had a quote yesterday. So there's a difference between breaking a rule and cheating. Do you understand that? Do you understand what he's saying?
I'd have to listen to the context of it. So,
well, I think everything they're going through. But is it in the context of a coach?
Here's what I would say.
Not even talking about Syracuse.
I don't know the context of that, so I'm not going to comment. I don't even know what they got in trouble for because I never looked at it.
But you can break a rule and not try to break a rule.
Yeah, they're called secondary offenses.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
cheating is premeditated. I'm just trying to. I wasn't sure what Boeheim was saying, so
why are you asking me? Why didn't you ask him?
We called.
Was
for
he
him.
Sitting on the?
No, he did a press conference. But I thought in coach speak, because you can't control everything. So if somebody breaks a rule, it's not. Back in the day, comes back to you.
Back in the day, they called it strict liability, where whether you knew or not, or responsible or not, it's on you. Now they're trying to change that.
Yeah.
And say if you. No, you're not responsible, blah, blah, blah. But the bottom line is what you think about it. If something happens in a kid's high school before you get him, something happens in his hometown, somebody it's not on your campus, and something happens, a lot of times you're responsible. If the family did something before you got the kid, it's hard. What we're doing is there's a lot of landmines out there.
Yeah, and that's what I was wondering about that we look at a football coach and say, you got to govern 80 guys. But it comes back to you, no matter what happened, if we say, well, how did the coach not know? And that's why I was curious.
Well, it depends on who the coach is.
If he's a big-name coach, look at Boeheim. Look at Patino.
Depends on who's the coach. He knew or didn't know. We can't believe he would know, so he didn't know. We know he knew. He knew. You know he knew. He knew you know it. I mean, it depends on who it is. So I said this as a coach, do right by your kids. Make sure you're doing right by your kids. And I tell the kids all the time I'm recruiting, I don't want to get you embarrassed or me embarrassed. I don't want to put you in a position that hurts your marketing and your ability to be who you are as a professional. You know, and again, it's a long-term picture with Kentucky. Somebody wrote, and I don't know if this is true, and I have some people that follow us pretty closely, 51% of the players we recruit they're drafted players. 51%? You know, normally they say, you know, the chances of you being a pro are .011, and you don't. Well, coming to Kentucky, it's about 51%.
Who speaks that way, but what you just
that
did
one there?
That impersonation was who?
I thought it was you.
You know, the chances of you going pro. That's not how I sound.
You know what I love about you? You're how you treat your people. They laugh for you. I don't know if they do this, but
You have yes men at Kentucky.
No, you have body men, yes men, laugh men.
Yeah.
You had a lady come in and say, I said, can you tell me? She said, no, I'm only here to get his coffee. I have one job, to heat up his coffee.
That's true.
So I said,
but I employed her. She got a job.
When I first went on the bus, I said, where's the star? You know what they said? Who you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. We're all just regular
you're right.
people.
I mean,
it's
the way
regular,
you do that. Yeah.
Just
they didn't know who you were.
Team player. But I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
All I do is come out, and then you'll remember my name when the game is over.
Yeah, they call you Golden Boy. By the time you leave, you're Golden Boy.
They're going to go, holy, can you believe that? That guy's the next Jamal Murray.
You're right.
Yeah. Or Jamal Mashburn, too.
He was a pretty good player, too.
He was. So was Reggie Miller, who's going to join us next.
He could play.
Yeah, I can. He looks like he'd still play. At 50, I think he could still.
He's a player.
Yes, he can do. Do you want to shoot a couple of jumpers?
No, absolutely not.
Fair enough.
I'm not shooting any jumpers.
By the way, the Continental Tire Coach's Corner with John Calipari. Thank you for coming by. I know you got a tight schedule. It's always great to see you. I just hate to see grown men wearing warm-up suits.
I had to get up early to do this.
Oh, come on. Come on. That's the creepy thing at the Final Four. Guys who shouldn't be wearing those things are wearing those things.
What are you telling me?
Well,
are you saying something about my body now?
Yeah. You look like you let yourself go a
little bit. I have. When you get older, it's hard.
What if you guys had to wear uniforms?
Oh.
Like baseball managers?
Oh.
How would you look in a Kentucky uniform?
I would look good because I'd have a baggy one that would lay out. I'd have the shirt hanging. I'd make it look good now. They say you've gained weight. You look good. You're losing weight. I go, no, you just wear baggy stuff.
That's
You're
true.
fine.
Yeah. Do you have tattoos?
No.
Oh, you don't have any?
No, I can't stand needles. You like needles?
No.
If I see a needle, I'll pass out, and I'm going to get a tattoo. What are you, nuts?
Well, don't look at the needle.
They feel it. What are you talking about?
Feel it. All right. You're soft. Coach, it's great to see you. And congratulations
Thanks,
on a down year.
Thanks.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.